I'm Ethan Owens from Fiasco Sports and SA Footballer Magazine, and today I'm joined by Mick Hamilton, President of the PHOS Camden Footy Club in Division 2, and he is our feature legend of the week. So, Mick, first of all, how did you get involved in PHOS Camden Footy Club and ultimately become the president?
1984, Cooley sacked me from Westies. I was too slow, so I had mates playing at PHOS Camden, so I went and just played with my mates. Then the next year I coached the Bs for a couple of years, playing coach. I was still playing A's, and then played, I was captain coach of the A grade for 4 years. So we won a couple of premierships and we went from A4 to A2. And then from there, our family come along and so I stepped away from footy a bit, but more recently, the last few years, I've been involved in the Futures Committee, which we've got new club rooms getting built, and trying to bring back the netball and the cricket back to the club. So yeah, I stepped up as president, and it's pretty exciting at the moment.
So obviously being around the club in the 80s and then taking time away and coming back, what are the biggest changes you've noticed about the PHOS Camden Footy Club in that time? Well,
we've now got 350 juniors, which is amazing, and we're pretty proud of our juniors. For instance, yesterday we had our sponsors day, and Mark Bickley's our #1 ticket holder. He's got a couple of lads playing for us, and he just turned up and spoke to our sponsors at half time. It was fantastic. So the professionalism from an amateur league club, well they call it now Adelaide Footy League, is fantastic, and the amount of work involved is a lot more. Now we've got our football director, some weeks he'll do 20 hours volunteer work, and like yesterday for the sponsors day, Jared too is at 7 preparing and doing that's amazing from a football club's perspective. And then you've got everyone wanting to help coach the juniors, and it's really great for grassroots footy.
Absolutely. And in your time being involved in the club, is there one highlight that really stands out as a key moment for you?
Oh, my 89 premiership. Those blokes I still see, and they're still involved in the club, and I was really proud of the fact that a lot of those went on to be presidents, secretaries, coaches, and they ended up coaching their own premierships themselves. So from that perspective, I was only a young man at the time, but the club was developing men, and those guys have gone on to greater and better things.
Great to hear. And you mentioned your sponsors day yesterday. Are there any key sponsors that you'd like to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, Design Homes and Phil Hoffman Travel, they're our major sponsors. You store it, and there's a few others that sponsor players, and obviously there's a fairly big list, but Phil Hoffman himself turned up yesterday. Peter Williams, the CEO, is normally there. He's got all his family involved in the club, and they are really good supporters of the club.
Sounds like great times ahead. And just one last one, anything exciting coming up for you guys at PHOS Camden?
We've got our past players day on the 8th of July. We've got our ladies day next Sunday, and then our past players day, and I'm hoping to get we're celebrating the Camden 1937. I don't think anyone will turn up from there, but there's the 77, and there's about 4 other premierships we'll celebrate that day, but it's anyone that's played for PHOS, please turn up.
Awesome, thanks Mick. I'm Ethan Owens from Fiasco Sports and SA Footballer Magazine. Today I was joined by Mick Hamilton, President of the PHOS Camden Footy Club in Division 2, and he was our feature legend of the week.